Room with Monsters. Darren Leslie here with my review of 10 Cloverfield Lane. 10 Cloverfield Lane was one of my most anticipated movies of this year. And before we go any further, just wanted to point this out, this is not a sequel to Cloverfield. No, that's not a spoiler, just letting you know not to expect any direct connection to Cloverfield walking into this film. Now, does that take away anything this movie has to offer? No, not really. It still stands on its own. 10 Cloverfield Lane is still a worthwhile trip to the movies. The film is about a woman named Michelle, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Don't get to see her in enough stuff. She's really good. Who wakes up in a bunker after a car crash and is told by her captor, played by John Goodman, that the world as she knows it has come to an end. The outside world has been devastated by some sort of attack. And her only chance at survival is to stay within this bunker for the foreseeable future with him and his other captive, Emmett, played by John Gallagher Jr. But a yearning for answers and the suspicious nature of her captor leads Michelle to find answers of her own. And some cool and scary stuff happens that I can't say without spoiling the film. Now, let's start with the positives. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, John Goodman, and John Gallagher Jr. deliver compelling performances. John Goodman in particular has a terrific performance as Howard. His performance is subtle. You're trying to figure out who he is. What's this guy's angle? Did he really build this bunker for protection, and why? And John Gallagher, his name is really hard to say. And John Gallagher Jr.'s Emmett adds to the mystery and is hilarious, providing most of the laughs throughout the film. And has a sincere conversation with he and Michelle about regret. The tension this movie lays out for us from the beginning never lets up. You know when you're watching a movie and you start getting nervous, something's happening on the screen, you start banging your seat, you're patting your hips or something, something like that starts to happen. And the entire theater, while I was watching the movie in certain scenes, the entire theater was doing it. It was just a chorus of people just patting their seats. This movie is very tense. Watch this movie with the pack house. You won't regret it. The more information we learn about this bunker, the safer it becomes. Then we learn even more information, and the more terrifying it becomes. It constantly goes back and forth, and we as an audience are just left guessing. Should we believe Howard? Is the outside world really that dangerous? Is he telling the truth? These questions fuel the mystery of 10 Cloverfield Lane, and gives life to the tagline of the poster that monsters come in many forms. Also, this movie really flies by. The pacing is really efficient. No scene goes unwasted, and this is from a first-time director as well. Dan Trachtenberg does an awesome job of bringing this world to life. You can also check out his earlier work in a Portal short, which I'll leave in the link below. My only real negative about this movie is that toward the end, and this is a mild spoiler, but toward the end, it feels more like setup than closure. I have no idea if this movie is getting a sequel or not, so that may have been intentional, but it left me wanting more in a bad way. It's really hard not to talk about this movie without spoilers. At the end of the day, 10 Cloverfield Lane is a tense sci-fi thriller that stands on its own. You don't have to have seen Cloverfield to get much of the plot, which is kind of a good thing in a way. It's a nice entry point. This movie is a nice entry point for a film that may be the start of a new series. So it's nice for people to be able to really just jump on this train while it's moving and not feel lost. However, if you did see Cloverfield, I counted at least 2 Easter eggs to the original film, so keep an eye out for that. Probably going to do a spoiler review of this film just to go a little bit more in depth about the plot and where I think this Cloverfield universe is going. So if you've seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, please let me know in the comments below what you think about it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you like hearing me talk about movies, please hit that subscribe button. Come join the conversation. I'm Darren Leslie Jr. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you next time.